Number 16. Which of the following is the best description of the number negative 90 over 15? Well, it's talking about repeating decimals and terminating decimals and rational numbers. I think we might need to divide that out because it's an improper fraction. So let's see what we get. How many times would 15 go into 90? You might guess and check a few times to see how many times 15 would go into 90. It's 6. 6 times 15 is 90. And a negative divided by a positive or a positive divided by a negative, either way it ends up as negatives. That's what all of the answer choices say. And it came out even, negative 6. So the first choice says a negative rational number that is a repeating decimal. Well, it's definitely not a repeating decimal. A negative rational number that is also an integer. It is an integer. Negative number that is not a rational. Well, all negative numbers, whether they're decimals or fractions, they're all rational numbers, so that's not possible. A negative rational number that is neither repeating nor terminating. Well, it isn't repeating or terminating. So that could possibly be true. But I think the best answer choice would be this one because it is an integer. It comes out even to negative 6. Number 17. Jason is planting a garden that will have sunflowers and irises. The table below shows the relationship between the number of sunflowers, X, and the number of irises, Y. So sunflowers, irises. What is the ratio of number of irises to sunflowers? So irises would go first, and sunflowers would go on bottom. Remember, a ratio is a fraction, so 45 to 12. And we need to simplify that. What can we divide 45 and 12 by? Well, at least 3. 45 divided by 3 makes 15, and 12 divided by 3 makes 4. It said ratio, so we want it to stay as a fraction. So we're going to leave it as 15 to 4. Number 18. The price of one share of stock declined $3.50 per day for 4 days in a row. What is the total amount of the stock price declined after the 4 days? Per means to multiply, so $3.50 times 4. When we get our answer, we want to move our decimal over 2 spaces. So the total amount of stock that the price declined was $14. Number 19. Which term does not apply to the number negative 5 and 1/7? Negative 5 and 1/7. Well, it is a negative number because there's a negative sign. There's a fraction. That makes it rational. Is it repeating? I don't know. I have to divide. Just dividing the fraction part. I don't want to mess with the whole number. So 7 into 1. I have to add a decimal and a 0. 7 goes into 10 once, with 3 left over. 7 goes into 30 4 times. 2 left over. 7 goes into 20. 2 times with 6 left over. 7 goes into 60 8 times with 4 left over. 7 goes into, it just keeps going. 7 goes into 40 5 times with 5 left over. 7 goes into 50 7 times with 1 left over. Wait, we started with 1. So that means the whole pattern's about to repeat. That is a huge number, but it is just a repeating decimal. Since it's a repeating decimal, the question asks which one is it not. That makes it not terminating. Number 20. 1 week, the price of a share of stock started at $32. The price of the stock declined $2.50 per day for 3 days. Then rose $2 per day for 2 days. What was the price of the stock at the end of the week? Okay, well, if it's declining, that means we're going to be subtracting $2.50 per day for 3 days. So $2.50 times 3 days. Or you can add $2.50 3 times. So it declined, or it went down $7.50. So 32 minus $7.50. $24.50. Then it rose $2. Rose means we're adding $2 per 2 days. So $2 times 2 days. It gained, it went up, it rose $4. So I need to add that to the $24.50. Remember that lining up the decimals, so $4 makes the new price $28.50. $28.50. 21. The table below shows some data that Christian gathered from his outing bicycling. What is the ratio of the number of miles traveled to hours spent bicycling? Ratio. Ratio means a fraction, the simplest form. It says miles, so miles goes on top, then hours. 34 to 2. And I can drop that last 0 because it's behind the decimal, 34 to 2. But I need to simplify it. I can divide both of those numbers by 2. 34 divided by 2 makes 17. So 17 and 2 divided by 2 makes 1, so 17 to 1. Number 22. Which of the following could be Michaela's secret number? Michaela said she is thinking of a secret number. She gave the following clues about the number. The number lies to the left of 0 on the number line. So if we have a number line, and if it's on the left, that's over here. What numbers are on the left? Negatives. So it can't be these positive numbers. The number is rational, but not an integer. So that means it's not a whole number or its opposite. So it can't divide out perfectly. That one shows that it's a fraction and a decimal. It's going to be a fraction and a decimal. I don't know about this one, so I'm going to divide 54 by 18 and see if that comes out even. 18 goes into 54, maybe 3 times. Yep, 3 times. Evenly. -3 is an integer, so can't be that one. The last clue says the number is a terminating decimal. Well, is 3/8? Remember, if I'm changing it to a decimal, I'm not messing with the whole number that it's in front. I'm just dividing out the fraction part. So the top number goes in the house and the bottom number goes outside the house. 8 goes into 30 3 times, 6 left over. 8 goes into 60 7 times, 4 left over. 8 goes into 40 5 times. So this one would be -3.375. That is a terminating decimal. So my answer is -3 3/8. Number 23. Answer the question below by writing 2 or 3 complete sentences in the space provided. Be sure to write neatly. So you need to use words to explain what we would do to subtract 20 minus -6. We would need to use the rule for integers, subtracting integers, which is KCO. But when you're writing out sentences, we don't use abbreviations. We use what those letters stand for. So use the rule, keep, change, opposite, and then you tell me what that means to do. So like keep 20, change minus to plus, and then take the opposite of -6, which would be +6. So if I'm really working it out, it's 20 plus +6. So then solve for 20 plus 6. And that's it. You don't even have to tell me an answer.